This is Abnormal Entertainment.
Maskerpiece Theater is getting started. We're at the Grid.
God fucking damn it.
Yeah. So we're here and might be just doing one show tonight. We don't know.
And we might be doing
see.
a short one.
Talk really fast.
We'll see.
A lot of construction going on, but I'm sure it's going to be some great improvements.
I'm just hoping the construction guy starts doing YMCA soon.
Absolutely. Well, I did see a Native American in there, so
Oh, there you go.
we're halfway there.
Yeah, right? We're close.
Go
So
back to your country.
We'll it is,
Oh, my God.
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
We'll play some masked libs, get everybody introduced. I'm the masked blogster, and I will ask all these fun questions of words. Meaning Mandy, an adjective.
Dead. That's
a cheery
the mood
group.
for how
This
I'm
is
doing right
A
now.
really cheerful group today. Frankie G, a noun.
Do you think it's depressed now? Wait till I point out the fact that I actually have a sport blazer that the lining is the same print as your shirt that you're wearing right now.
That's awesome.
What am I supposed to give you?
A noun.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was sport blazer.
Nope. True story. All right, noun. Let's go with butt plug.
Yeah.
Fuck the
Let's
world.
go with
Kevin
that.
Moyers,
I
a
want to see
plural
this place
noun.
burn.
Plural noun. Nipple clamps.
Here at the Grid.
Here at the Grid. Boy, this is going to be fun. Mini Mandy, a plural noun for you.
Cock rings.
Wow. Frankie G, an
No, I
adjective.
will not pay full price for that muffler.
Full price? Is that
What?
your adjective?
Oh, I'm sorry, were you talking?
An adjective.
Slippery.
Kevin, another plural noun.
Dongs. I hope that works.
Mini Mandy, a noun.
Dungeon.
I'm already done with my first beer.
Oh, yeah, I'm on number 2 already.
Frankie G, a verb.
And I didn't even order this. This was a whoopsie, and they
Hey,
still charged me full price.
Hey,
Verb.
if it wasn't for you, I'd still be waiting for my first
Well, that's
beer.
because you can't see over the top of the bar.
Either way, money spends the same. Doesn't matter how short you are.
Verb.
It's what you do.
Cry.
Cry. Kevin, a noun.
We'll go with shank.
What's that?
Shank.
Shank. Mini Mandy. Person in the room, female. Mini Mandy.
And there are no portraits.
That lady over there.
That girl.
Dorothy.
Grid,
Or no, wait. What's her name? Ah, crap.
Khaleesi?
No.
Carrie Fisher?
No.
Sansa? Arya?
No, the evil mom. Or
Oh, Cersei.
Cersei. Although Arya is badass.
Frankie G, an animal.
Tiger. Grr.
Kevin, an adjective.
Saucy.
Certainly sounds like trivia's starting up.
Yeah, it certainly does. Mini Mandy, an adverb.
Adverb. I just want to say dying.
It's not an adverb.
No, it's not.
Did you kill Barry White?
I hope so.
Oh,
I
Wow.
side note,
hope so.
on Super Bowl Sunday, I officially forgave Mandy for Prince.
Yeah.
That's not.
Doesn't mean it's still not a fact,
Right.
but I've forgiven her.
God damn it. Adverb, L-Y, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tiredly. Because that's how I feel.
I feel tiredly.
60-hour work week.
I feel so tiredly.
Well, I never.
Tiredly walked through life.
I do declare.
Adjective, Frankie G.
Adjective. Yeah, we're going to go with spiky.
Kevin, a place.
The empty spot in my heart.
And there it is, folks. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
And Mini Mandy, an adjective.
Disappointing.
So wait, are we live podcasting trivia night?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
All right, so this is a part 2 to which superstar are you?
Oh, is this
WWE
wrestling? This is wrestling. Oh,
edition.
this is the one we skipped when we did the Vajesi monologue.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
if you answered as, you're just like John Cena.
Kill me now.
You're dead looking and cool as a butt plug. You combine strength, leadership, and nipple clamps to get the job done. Audience love you for your witty cock rings. If you answered mostly bees, you're just like Randy Orton. You're villainous and slippery and one of the most feared dongs in the WWE.
That's very
So I
accurate.
hear. So I hear.
Very, very
Yeah.
slippery. All that oil.
And your dong.
Yeah.
You are the master of the devastating finishing move, the dungeon. And like a viper, you will cry at anyone who dares to cross your shank. If you answered mostly C's, you're just like Bray Wyatt.
Oh, no.
Your finishing moves, Sister Cersei and Tiger Walk,
Nice.
make your saucy opponents tap out tiredly. You are one of the most spiky athletes in the empty spot in Kevin's heart and one of the most disappointing superstars of all time.
That last one was very accurate. I might
Yeah,
add.
that works.
Oh, Kevin.
That was a pretty good description of Cersei.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
I read
Kevin's
the
heart.
beginning as. I'm like,
Yeah,
what
I was
is
going to
this?
point that out.
Yeah. It's supposed to be A's.
It was multiple choice.
I guess it would have
yes.
made more sense had we read the other one
Yeah.
in more conjunction rather than
Well,
a few months ago.
I'll tell you a funny thing is with the Galaxy, if you use the Google Assistant, you can play games, and one of them is Mad Libs. So Casey did the Mad Libs, and her answer to everything was but. So the thing would read it back at the end and say but, and the kid was dying. Like everything was that. It was the dumbest thing. And I'm just looking at her like, all right.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's great. We get a soundtrack with this episode.
Yeah.
Right?
No, it's great because I can't hear shit. So it's
Yeah, it's
Hearing's
Wonderful.
overrated. My thing today.
So I do have some news.
oh, what's the news?
Ooh.
Yeah. Well, as we record this, we are in the midst of the Winter Olympics,
Yes.
and as much as I enjoy watching the dongs slide down the slide in luge, good lord,
Yes.
those outfits are revealing.
Yeah.
I'm going curling on Saturday.
Are you
Are
really?
you kidding?
I'm not kidding. This gal at work found classes for $15, and we're going to go learn how to go
15
curling.
American?
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
15 American.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
I was going to say, I have a couple of loonies at home if you want to.
I do too. I do too. I got some loonies and toonies.
And
Dude.
how old are you that you just said gal?
Some gal.
You just moved up to like 75.
As we record this on Tuesday, did you see the accident last night with the female who does the luge? sledding?
Yeah,
No.
bad crash.
Ooh.
Bad crash.
Ooh.
I've
I'm
watched
happy she's okay.
zero
but now-
Olympics. Yeah.
I saw a little bit at my mom's house when I was trying to fix her TV,
Yeah.
but that was about it.
I've been watching it. It's not appointment viewing, but if I'm just
Sure.
sitting around, I'll throw it on while I'm doing shit. And honestly, what prompted this whole curling expedition is curling was on, and I was watching the U.S. mixed team. It's a
Okay.
man and a woman. I believe they're brother and sister. But the dude on the team, he looks like a guy you'd run into at a bowling alley. He's got this like super heavy mustache and his guts hanging over his belt. I'm like, I can fucking do this shit. This guy's in the Olympics,
right?
Yeah. I kept calling him Big Earn McCracken. But yeah, so we're gonna go curling.
Yeah,
Nice.
could be a new passion.
It could be fun. Yeah.
Yeah,
Get that gold
I
medal.
think
Frank.
it'd be fun to go.
I'm going for gold, bitches.
Back in 2010, my grandmother died, and I went back to Chicago. But last minute you always have a layover or whatever. So I had to stop in Indianapolis on the way to Chicago.
I'm sorry.
And oh god, I got food poisoning in
Hey,
that
you got
airport
better
on the
than
way
Dustin
home.
Daniels did.
I got herpes
Right.
in that bus in the Greyhound station. Yeah.
And you don't even have to have sex. That's the weird
No,
part.
I used the payphone.
But I went into the and Mandy's about to spit out
Sorry,
her
I
beer.
just started laughing.
But I go into the MSNBC store. I'm killing time on the layover, and they have a big TV behind the counter where the register is. And it's a little counter, and the lady behind the counter is just sweeping up this little tiny area, and right behind her is the curler with the broom, and I'm watching her and watching the TV and losing my shit because it's so funny. And she looks at me, she goes, "What?" And I just point at the TV. She looks up, looks at what she's doing, and just loses it. It was
That's
the
awesome.
best moment on the way to a funeral you could ever have.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, good stuff.
The curling's been on nonstop though.
Dude, yeah.
It's really come on in the past.
And every 4 years,
Couple
curling.
Olympics.
Everybody's
Like
like, "Oh,
every week."
curling's the new thing," because
But
we forget about it.
we forget
We
about
have a
it.
goofy
Exactly.
Olympics
fascination
aren't on,
with it, yeah.
And then it comes back, and we're like, "Oh yeah, curling's great."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's been a good Olympics so far. The U.S. The over/under on U.S. gold medals was 10.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
I took the under because I looked it up. The last 3 Olympics, we've won like 8, 9, and 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we don't typically fare well on these. Our hockey team is shit
Yeah.
because we can't use NHLers.
NHL
no
players, yeah.
country can, but
Yeah.
Oh, you can't anymore?
not this Olympics.
Oh, okay.
It's a big.
Well, remember the first year of the Olympics with using NHLers? The U.S. team went fucking nuts, got drunk every night.
Well, this is
got
bullshit.
their
This was
asses
our
kicked.
year. I think we had a legitimate chance to actually beat Canada this year if we had
Yeah.
our NHLers, and if they did too, obviously.
Yeah.
But nope.
Nope.
No.
So anyway, back to the curling real quick. I saw this online today. I'm just trying to pull it up. Okay. So, me watching curling. After 1 minute, this is dull. 10 minutes, he's overdone the turn on this stone. 30 minutes, 3 in the house means nothing if your center guard is right for a hit and roll. An hour, sweep motherfucker!
I love it.
And that's what curling is like for us Americans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because just seeing news stories on it. Again, I haven't watched a minute of the Olympics, but I recently saw Tonya, which is a Tonya Harding story, kind of shot like a mockumentary based on real interviews. And they show clips of the interviews at the end. It's fucking weird. Like, the mom is crazy. But Tonya Harding was the first woman to attempt a triple axel
And
in the
she nailed
Olympics.
it.
No,
No, not in the Olympics. She hit it in the Nationals.
She hit it in the Nationals. She failed in the Olympics.
You gonna fuck with me on figure skating? I bet on this shit all the time.
Yeah, and of course, why not? But we finally got somebody, and that was the first time she attempted it was 92, I think, and then 94 is when they cut it to alternate the years, and then she tried it again and fucked up. So she failed twice, and it took all this time for somebody to actually nail it, which is I didn't realize
just
nobody
happened
had
years
until
ago,
now.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, first American.
First American to nail it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Third female.
I was shocked that it took this long. You'd figure after Harding did it, like, okay, everybody's going to try it, but no. And then we got a 17-year-old, and she's Korean-American, 17-year-old Korean-American snowboarder got the gold, and, apparently just aced it the first run, and nobody
the
could
half pipe.
come
It
close.
was amazing. It was a
Oh, yeah,
flawless
it looked
run.
great. It looked amazing.
See, I need it. It's a good thing you can go back and watch this shit online later. Cause
I don't care what country they're from. I feel bad, but I'm rooting for either huge tricks or for them to eat shit.
Yeah,
right?
And I kind of feel bad about that, but as a spectator, it's like, yay! I want something exciting.
Well, the first year it was in the Olympics was 2010.
Yes,
and that was
Vancouver.
and again heading back to Chicago for that funeral. My brother-in-law's birthday is the 17th.
Everything goes back to death with you.
Well, no, it was on his birthday, and he's a big snowboarder, so he was excited, like U.S. won the gold on his birthday. But Shaun White, I remember, nailed it so hard in the first two runs. The third one, he just fucked off. And he ended up wiping out, but he didn't care. He was, like, laughing it off.
They call it a victory run.
Yeah, he just was like, let's see what I can do.
Yeah.
But, and it was kind of fun to watch him crash and burn.
I was reading an article online, and it seems like one of these hot takes that a sports writer came up with, but there's an iota of truth to it, that the rest of the world's just kind of over snowboarding because we basically started that shit.
Right.
Yeah. And we have dominated ever since it came into the Olympics. The U.S. has dominated snowboarding. So,
Yeah.
we had a snowboarder who won gold. It was our first gold medal of these Olympics. He overslept, forgot his jacket,
Yep.
and then said fuck on the post-run interview.
Yeah.
And if that does not embody the United States snowboarding culture, I don't know what does.
Yeah.
And I couldn't be prouder to be an American.
It's crazy.
I came all over my Big Mac and then shot a bald eagle. It was amazing.
Well, it's only the third Olympics it's in, so, other countries, especially big skiing countries, Switzerland, shit like that, eventually one of them's going to come and
Well,
clean
it's like
up.
basketball. Basketball was a game we invented.
Yeah.
And it was amateurs for
Canada,
a while, but then in
but there's-
Barcelona, it was the dream team.
Right.
And nobody could fucking touch us
No.
for 20 years.
Yeah.
But as those 20 years went on, our guys just went into it with the attitude, we're NBA, all-stars, we're great,
Yeah.
we don't even have to try that hard, and eventually we took bronze in, what was it? It wasn't Beijing, it was the year before Beijing. Greece. It was in Athens.
Yeah.
We took
That
bronze
was
in Athens. And that's, the rest of the country,
Yeah.
the rest of the world caught up, and we took a step back. So that will happen
Well,
with snowboarding.
it's like Tyson losing Buster Douglas.
Yep.
He shouldn't
Yeah.
have,
Yep.
but he was dicking around, took himself for granted, and there it went. So, yeah.
And Rocky versus, what's his name? Mr. T's character.
Oh, Clubber Lang.
You get Clubber Lang.
What about him versus Ivan Drago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Messed around and, yeah.
I was just thinking, I don't know why, I was just thinking that today. He did a movie, Creed, about Apollo's son. Will he do a Lang? Will he do a Drago about the children?
That's kind of a good idea.
boxers?
That's not the worst
I
idea.
kind of like that.
Yeah.
Except Drago's sperm is probably completely ineffective after all the steroids.
Well, you can't. You just
Damn
cross
Swedish
it with-
Russians.
Well, you
Well,
just
in
kind
the
of do a
movie.
mashup. You do Drago, but you cross like a Rocky movie with twins. So he's
Yeah.
got like a big old built guy and like a little shitty little guy too with him, like a Danny DeVito type. You get the best of two movies.
Yeah.
To work.
And he fucked his wife up when she went running off to Flavor Flav. I mean, that's...
Yeah, well,
Exactly.
as happens.
Yeah.
They should have the half-black kid, his little skinny, wiry guy. And I'm pretty sure he's my son. I'm pretty sure. Flav just popping out.
Well, since we're on sports, Kevin and I sat at my local watering hole one evening. I believe it was the day before the Super Bowl, was it not?
Yeah.
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 Because I was hungover during the Super Bowl.
Yeah, proceeded to get absolutely shithoused.
Yeah.
And we put down a bunch of money on some prop bets
Uh-huh.
and hit every single one of them.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We cleaned
Every one.
house.
Which I was really surprised.
Yeah. Well, with Super Bowls, the bookies are going to get, and we don't go to a bookie, but
Right.
any sports book or a bookie, they're going to get their clocks cleaned when it's a shootout, high-scoring game.
Yeah.
Right.
Because all of the overs hit.
Yeah.
And that was the case this year. Now, not all of our bets were overs. We had, like, Alshon Jeffrey to score a touchdown at some point in the game, which
Right.
he did.
Yeah.
The time of the national anthem
We
was
had
one.
national anthem. We had the coin toss. Eye off to the side, put some money on Pink's hair color and hit that.
Oh, there you go. Eagles score first.
Eagles score first. First penalty on the Eagles. First score was not a touchdown. So these are not like traditional over bets.
Yeah.
Well, I convinced you to take the shortest touchdown under a yard and a half.
Yeah.
And Big Dick Nick Foles hit that,
Yeah.
went out and caught that pass.
Yeah.
That was from the 1 yard
That's
line.
so awesome.
I love that they just like, oh, Brady didn't do this? Let's do this.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's rub it in his face. Yeah.
Now,
Each
Mandy
with
and
your
I
own
watched
move.
the game with a Patriots fan.
We sure did.
Yeah.
I gotta say, she was far more gracious than I thought she would be. Doesn't mean she was good about it,
No, she was better than expected.
but better than expected.
Yeah.
I think it's because we were in a place that she works
That's possible.
and
Little restraint.
needs that pay, needs that money. So
Well,
I think if we were anywhere else, she would have lost her shit.
that's possible. But the Patriots have now been vanquished, so I assume next year it's the Bears, right?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All day. With Nagy. Yeah. No,
The coach that nobody was even thinking about.
right. And they were the first to hire somebody. We got to get this Nagy guy nobody cares about right away. Like, another fucking great hire by the Bears.
Yeah.
And I hate to say this, but Virginia's 172 years old. When she's gone, I hope to God her kids sell the fucking team so they have a chance. Because Mike McCaskey is a disaster. An absolute disaster. Ed McCaskey's a disaster. It's just not going to work. So,
Who would have thought that getting coaches would have worked out best for the Colts this season?
yeah.
Yeah.
McDaniel.
Because I was so upset. I purposely didn't tweet about it. I didn't post about it.
Welcome to Jackass. I'm Josh McDaniels, and this is Colts head coach.
Yeah, I was like, I just fucking ignored it. I'm like, I'm going to ignore it, and eventually it's going to go away.
I'm
Yeah.
going to
I
hire
thought
a
I
bunch of assistants.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to
Oh.
show up for the press
Yeah.
conference.
I assumed
That's
as soon
scheduled.
as the Colts started hiring assistants, I'm like, all right, this is a done deal. I'm
He
gonna
should
to
have
live
gone
with
all
this
the
for a
way
couple
with
of
it
years.
and actually signed the contract in disappearing ink,
Yeah.
Right.
I hate you.
and then be like, "Ha, suckers."
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to have to fucking live with this. This asshole's going to be the fucking coach for the Colts. Shit, okay. And then, was it like the day after the Super Bowl or 2 days after?
Yeah.
Like, oh, McDaniels backs out. I'm like, yes! I don't even care who our coach is. It's not fucking McDaniels.
Yeah.
I think you got a
I
good
don't
one.
care.
Yeah, I think Frank
And
Reich
they won.
No, he's good.
deserves
He's good.
that. Yeah.
That was a good
I
hire.
stand by my tweet. I was like, oh, when the guy that loses the Super Bowl backs out, but the guy who won steps in and does it right. I was like, yes.
Yeah.
So happy. He's
Upgrade.
back in Indiana. I'm
Yeah.
fucking excited. Makes me so happy.
And that was the one guy I was rooting for in the Super Bowl. I
Right.
didn't care about either team.
I
But
was so
You
sad.
cared about
he-
your bank account, though.
Yeah.
I was so sad. He
But as
didn't
far
get
as the
one
win,
Colts.
I
You might have been too
wanted
hungover
Frank
to-
Reich to not
actually
lose
care, but-
6. Yeah.
I wanted him to get one when it was the Colts and the Saints, and that didn't happen. That made me
Of
sad.
course you did. You wanted the Colts
Well, I
to win.
wanted the Colts to win.
It wasn't for Frank Reich.
No, it wasn't.
No, it had nothing
But
to do
it
with-
sucks. Like, I feel like that was like the beginning of the chain. Like,
Yeah.
or it was like one of the first ones
Yeah.
that he missed
Well,
out
it's
on.
really weird. Like, if you go back to the Baltimore Colts days, they had a coach named Brutus Reich. So it's really weird
Yeah.
because now they have Frank Reich, and in the middle they had Tommy Reich. He's actually the third Reich.
Yeah.
And I hate to bring up that his number was 14, and there was that whole 14 words thing, and yeah.
I've
yeah.
gotten a lot of texts of like, hey, this is the second Reich. I'm like, that's great. If it was the first time I heard that.
It's the third one.
Yeah.
We got to get Mandy.
Play Geeks with Drink
fuck.
Trivia in about 10 minutes.
Hey, why don't you shut
10
up?
minutes.
Free to play. We have a bunch of great prizes.
Yeah.
Guys, it's free to
It's
play.
always a lot of fun.
It's-
I'm awesome.
It's
No,
not
you're not.
always a lot of fun.
First prize is a sand hand job back in the alley behind the dumpster.
Right with.
Ew.
Text your team name to the number on the front of this table.
This is
Start in about 10 minutes.
this is awkward.
Really
it is.
awkward. It's gonna be a short episode.
This is
I guess so.
a Maskerpiece Theater pod short.
Yeah.
So, Black Panther
Yeah, I was
comes
gonna
out
say,
the day this
but this-
releases?
Yep.
Releases. So
So by the next show, we'll have...
we will have
Seen
seen
it?
it. So I'm kind of glad we're only doing one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can do like a Black Panther pod short plus a Black Panther
Yeah.
Yep.
centric
I'm very
Maskerpiece Theater.
excited.
Yeah.
That's we're going on the morning of President's Day, which is almost a fuck you to the current president, but it's also a day off, and we don't have to worry about opening night. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna end up going on Sunday.
I think I work on Saturday, and I don't think I'll be able to even go there and then try to get a later showing.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be pretty rough this weekend.
Yeah, and it's
But
hard.
I might try it. We'll
Yeah.
see.
It's weird because, like, usually I always go, like, opening night, but, like, work is taking up so much of my time.
It's the biggest movie pre-sale of all time.
Yeah.
So, and granted, pre-sales have only been so long, but still, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it blows away, and it topped that a month ago.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Right. Everything's just gravy on top.
blew away
of it.
episode 7. You know what I mean? Like, and that was huge. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I think when I saw the last trailer, there's pretty much every black Hollywood celebrity in this movie. I'm pretty sure I saw Mr. T and Sinbad. Pretty sure.
Really?
Nice.
Yes.
That's great. I hope so.
Yeah.
Hey, honey, I'll show you a real woman. Come back to my apartment.
My
Yeah.
goodness. I wonder what this sounds like on the podcast.
Yeah.
You want to pause it right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're all yelling into the microphones and trying to talk over the audio. So we're going to take a brief break.
I'm sure you love listening to Rush, but we're going to get out of
I
here.
don't.
All right. We're up and running, a little less noisy.
Yeah.
I know there's
We've
no
rolled
time
it.
in between when you all were listening, but
Right?
We've
this
relocated.
we've relocated. It's a bit of a drive.
It's a
Smells
blip.
good in here.
Yeah.
Fox Cigar Bar, thank you so much.
Fox
Gilbert,
Cigar
Arizona.
Bar,
Right?
Gilbert, Arizona.
So, I had no clue. I think we were talking about Black Panther.
Yeah, we should start that over because I have no idea where we were at on that.
I'm not
Just, I think we just said that we were excited.
Of
Yeah.
course, we're
And that
excited.
and
That's
that we would talk about it on the next podcast.
going to be
Right.
amazing.
Yeah. We
Well,
don't
maybe not. We might be recording our second episode now because
because we can do it.
we can.
Right?
So,
But yeah, it looks great. And I did see one review where they're like, "It's like nothing you've ever seen." I'm like, we're 20 movies into this universe. I think we've seen
sure
some
we've
of this
seen
already.
it.
Right?
Yeah.
I did hear it's looking like Black Panther's going to be the new cornerstone of the next phase.
Oh, that's good.
I hope so.
Yeah.
That'd be
That's
great.
good.
yeah.
Yeah, they need somebody to anchor it because with Infinity War, I'm sure somebody's dying,
Well,
whether
they-
it's Cap or Iron Man or whatever. But
And if he's as cool as he was in Civil War, like, I'm really confident for the next phase with Panther and Strange. Captain Marvel is supposed to be a big piece of what's coming up.
Ant-Man
And
the Wasp.
Spider-Man and
Yeah.
Ant-Man.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like that group.
yeah.
I did not like the Venom trailer, though.
No, that was dog shit.
No.
Was it? That was the worst trailer ever, right?
I stand by my
It was
comments.
terrible.
I was
I would
awful.
I would say that we need to be done with Tom Hardy. So yeah,
Okay. Yeah, it was. I even had my daughter watch it.
yeah,
Last night we were just. It was like, hey, I got a movie trailer.
yeah.
Watch it and see if you can guess what it is. And she's just like, watch it. I'm like, oh shoot, it does say Marvel. So, clue one. And she's just watching it and watching it. She's like, I don't know what this is.
Yeah.
Does it look awesome? I don't know. And then at the end, when they show the true drips of milk, I mean his eyes.
Yeah.
And then like she's just like, Scarecrow? No, that's DC. I don't know. It just never lent you to believe
Yeah.
this was Venom.
Well, and it's not like there's a big reveal. We know what he looks like.
Right.
What's the big deal? So
Well, no, as I mentioned to Blogster when he was venting on, I think it was Facebook or Twitter,
yeah.
the CGI is not done on it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Then the
So
trailer should
they
not
were
be
limited
done.
as to what they could show. However,
Yeah.
the point remains.
Yeah.
Maybe wait till the CGI is done before you start dropping this
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Even a little bit.
I guess it got us talking about it.
Not really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess not.
I watched it. I forgot
I-
about it. You mentioned it. I responded.
Right.
Forgot about it again.
Not nearly as cool as Ant-Man and the Wasp.
No.
Yeah.
No.
That looks
That
so
was
much.
way better.
It just looks so great.
What's the argument with boob armor?
There are
This
people
is the
that are
new
upset
thing I'm
about
hearing.
this.
Yeah.
Wait, what? What are they
Because
upset
the
about?
Wasp has, because she wears the armor just like
Yeah.
Ant-Man,
Yeah.
but since it has boobs, oh no,
But she's a woman.
Right.
yeah,
Like
With-
where she's
That's my
supposed
point
to
exactly.
put
She
her
has
boobs.
to protect her.
Yeah.
Getting hit in the boobs hurts. You have to protect the boobs.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand why people have such
This
a problem
is a
with this.
problem?
Apparently,
It's-
it's sexist.
Fuck you,
Like
2018.
everything is shaped to your body. Like the men too, it's shaped to their body.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, if I had a beer gut
yeah.
and needed armor,
beer gut
Yeah.
armor
they
would
would
be great.
they would provide
have
room
that.
for that to
Yeah.
I would have that. That's why I don't dress up for Comic-Con. Everybody, like, oh, what do you dress up as?
That's not why.
That and I don't.
You got banned
So
because
let
of
me
your
get
last
this straight.
outfit.
Yeah.
We're just starting 2018,
Homage.
and Venom looks like a Hallmark movie, and everyone's offended by Wasp having fitting body armor.
Boob
Yeah.
armor. Boob armor, yeah.
But we're not
How dare
upset
you
about
protect your
Wonder
booboos.
Woman.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't get it.
I don't know.
I don't get it.
I don't know, but
I hope her boobs are nice and protected because
Yeah.
it hurts,
And
man.
it's funny because she's fully covered.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
There
like
is
it's revealing.
No skin at all. Sometimes she might take off her helmet and you'll see her face.
yeah.
I don't even think you can see neck with that armor. Like,
Yeah.
No.
And we're going to get upset that there's
Well, you
a bit of
guys
shape to the chest.
in last week's episode, you guys talked about trailers. You missed two big superhero movies.
No, we
coming up.
didn't.
Animated movies. You got Teen Titans Go, which
I thought we mentioned it.
I don't think so.
I think we glossed over it.
Yeah, maybe.
I think we glossed over it because I seem to remember because I talked to you about it earlier
Yeah.
today. And you were
Yeah,
Russell.
it's a fun thing.
How you doing, man?
so
Sorry.
And
Frank's a celebrity here.
yeah,
I was saying hi to Russell Davis, former lineman for the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
And Seattle Seahawks and Super Bowl champion with the New York Football Giants.
There you go.
Now he comes here a lot. I don't know if he wants to put that out there, but it is now.
Yeah, we left the TV geek and came to a NFL lineman. But there's also the Spider-Man movie, the animated,
Okay.
with all the different Spider-Men. Miles
Oh, yeah,
Morales
yeah.
is the main
Oh,
one.
yeah, yeah,
Peter
yeah.
Parker's dead. Looks
Is that
kind of
being released in
interesting.
theaters?
Yeah, December.
Okay.
Nice.
So,
That's cool.
yeah, and I just saw both of the trailers when I saw the hell did I watch? Peter Rabbit.
Oh, God.
The offensive Peter Rabbit.
So wait.
Was it
I'm-
offensive?
yeah,
Apparently,
that's the
yeah.
scene that they had to that Sony
Almost as
apologized
bad as
for.
boob armor, yes.
What
Yeah.
scene did they apologize?
Because
I don't
they
know.
bully someone for having a food allergy.
Oh, yeah, Mr. McGregor dies. He keels over from a heart attack. I didn't know it was Sam Neill. He's in this giant Santa Claus beard. I had no idea until the credits. But his great nephew he never met inherits the house, and he has some blackberry allergy. So they shoot a blackberry down his throat. And he jabs himself with an EpiPen right away. But I don't get it. I mean, I was there with a kid that has a food allergy. Who gives
Yeah.
a shit?
Right? I'm
Like,
I got written up at work today
for
because
because of a food allergy?
there's this
Make
guy
fun
that
of
just
somebody.
he's the bane of my existence. I'm IT, and I walked out. He had a problem yet again today. I fixed it, and he had another problem literally like 4 minutes later. And I said to him, I said, hey, you know how some people have a gluten allergy, and if they eat it, they spend the rest of the day on the can? And he goes, yeah. I think your computer has a U allergy because it just shits every time you touch it. Apparently, he didn't take too kindly to that.
yeah.
That's great.
Fuck you, Peter Rabbit.
So you got written up for that?
I got written up for that.
No.
Wow. Okay.
I can't count the number of times I've been written up at the post office in 11 years. And I'm still there.
I'm waiting to get written up
Which
at
is
my
sad
work.
for me more than the post office.
Have you
think-
watched The Good Place, Kevin?
I've seen one episode. Yeah.
Did you see the episode where they're listing off all the all the bad shit she did when she was alive?
Is that the very first one? Because that's the only one I
think
saw.
it was towards the beginning, but they're like, you literally lit your mailbox on fire just to get the mailman to take his shirt off.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I thought of Kevin, and I was like, no, she wouldn't do that for him.
Nah, not the
No.
shirt off. Then, well, maybe she would, and then
Maybe.
be like, oh, never mind.
I immediately regret my decision.
It looks like bread dough that somebody rolled in dog hair.
Oh,
Well, there's a visual.
yeah,
Right.
it's the
Glad
Girl Scout
we-
cookies called the
Put
Samoas.
that on Tinder.
I love Samoas.
I'm so
That's what
glad
they
we
look like,
relocated
though.
just to cut this shit
Yeah.
short. Gross. Yeah, so we got Black Panther on Friday. Man,
Yeah, it's finally here.
I'm beyond hyped.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's one of those things. Like I'm quiet about. I haven't been reading much on it at all
I haven't either. I've stayed away
because
from it.
I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't
like,
wanna know anything.
Oh yeah, we're gonna see this image. I'm like, no, I don't want to.
Yeah.
The only thing I did was I watched a little video on Michael B. Jordan's character.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know much about him, so I just wanted to
He's Killmonger.
Killmonger.
Yeah.
Just not as
It's a
familiar
great
with
name.
that. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a cool name. I'm just not as familiar with the character, so I'm like, okay.
I did hear initial pitch ideas included Kraven the Hunter as one of the bad guys for this,
Oh,
which
okay.
would have been amazing.
Yeah.
But if they want to save him for
If-
Black Panther 2,
if-
I'm
if-
on board.
If you want to put him in the mid-credit scene,
Yeah.
put him
Yeah.
in. Oh my God! If you could cross over Black Panther with Spider-Man,
It could be interesting, yeah.
yeah, because one of my favorite Spider-Man comic storylines.
Just
was
going to
with
interrupt
Kraven
real
the
quick.
Hunter.
This tall drink of water is Jason. Our,
Jason.
Our,
Hi, Jason.
our friend here at Fox Cigar Bar. You want to say hi?
Hey, shout out to the podcast. I don't know what the name is, but big shout out to CL Smooth and Frank Gross. Absolutely.
Nobody knows my last name, but thanks for that. Radio
Maybe
edit.
he just didn't think you were appealing.
Right. Oh, also, my beers are on his tab. Let me tell that to everybody.
Yeah. So yeah, awesome of Fox Cigar Bar to host this, but
Yeah.
yeah, but Kraven the Hunter is his. There was like a 6-issue run with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the best things I've ever
Yeah,
read. Yeah, it was awesome. It was actually what.
And he's tangled with the Avengers as well. In
Oh
some,
yeah.
So
I mean, Kraven's no one to mess with.
it's a very big character to introduce to the universe.
yeah.
He was in a lot of the old Spider-Man cartoons, too.
Yeah.
Right.
60s and the one
And
with
the
the
recent
Amazing
stuff,
Friends.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I know him from.
Yeah,
is the
the
cartoon.
first. I think it's the first episode of Spider-Man and His Amazing
They
Friends.
used
he's
to
in
have,
it.
yeah. They used to have a lot of that stuff on Netflix.
Yeah,
That and the one from the 60s, which was
Yeah.
awful, but
really
fun.
bad. But
Like,
yeah,
Yeah,
but
bad,
but
but
Good
kind of
bad.
cool to
It
sit
did.
down and watch.
it fit.
Yeah.
It's time. Yeah,
Stanley narrating and the whole thing, yeah.
yeah.
But
Which is what I loved about the old cartoons.
he would be a cool character. I mean, with just the big lion mane.
Yeah.
Everything, yeah.
Seriously.
Pretty fun.
Yeah.
And then you have some like PETA asshole throwing a bucket of red paint on his lion mane.
Yeah.
There we go.
And he just like knocks him out.
Yeah.
I'll say a trailer I was not super impressed with was the Deadpool 2 trailer where they're kind of introducing Cable.
It did
I'm
knock my
just-
socks off. No.
No.
Thank you.
I like it,
I was
especially the beginning.
Kyle Chandler all the way, and then when
Yeah.
they said Brolin, I'm like, really?
Really,
It
Thanos?
just he's
I don't mind the casting. I
didn't
just think
mind
they didn't
that.
show us. They didn't show us
Yeah.
enough of it to draw a conclusion yet.
But I mean,
Yeah, it's a
honestly,
teaser though, right?
it was a
Kinda-
fight between I forget the director's name between him
Tim
and
Miller.
Yeah, between him and fucking Ryan Reynolds over who was going to play Cable, and Miller
But-
wanted Chandler and
Yeah,
Reynolds wanted Brolin. I'm like, let the director.
And I
have
wanted
that
Busey.
and
one. Jake Busey.
No, Gary.
Gary. Tim Miller is getting another shot at a comic book movie though.
Who's he doing?
That's not
He
Sin
is-
City?
No, he is getting an X-Men movie
Really
with
The Kitty Pryde one.
Yeah,
nice.
written by
Oh.
Brian Michael Bendis. Which I was kind of surprised because he went to DC, but
Yeah.
it's not going to stop him from doing a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't think they would stop him. Like,
No.
yeah, this is the guy that wrote a movie. Like, why not? So yeah.
Yeah.
So rumored to be the Kitty Pryde movie.
Well, if we're talking about rumors, as much as I despise the man, I heard they want Michael Bay for a Lobo movie.
Yes.
Now, here's the thing with, even though I hate Michael Bay, if there's any director for a Lobo movie, it's the
Michael
guy
Bay.
Yeah.
It fits.
who just loves explosions and blowing shit
I
up.
just
Yeah.
want to know what Frey song is going to make it into the Lobo film.
Oh, wow.
It's amazing. That's a match made in heaven.
If they don't just play Motorhead through that whole thing, they're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have to, right?
Like you should just only play Motorhead throughout that movie.
Which is weird because he kind of looks like Kiss a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, Motorhead is far more fitting to who the character is. It's
Right.
great.
I made a comment in the Facebook group at first, but then I'm like, you know what? I'm on board with you guys. You're right. He's the most fitting.
He is?
He's not dark. He can do dark humor. Pain and Gain was not a bad movie.
That was actually
was
good.
really
I
good.
enjoyed that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
I mean, it still had his Michael Bay-isms, and that's
Yeah.
fine. I'm not opposed to that for a Lobo movie.
And I only read...
I want it to be ridiculous and absurd and
Yeah.
stupid.
And I only read a couple of them in the 90s. And it was over the top. It's sort of parody, really.
Yeah.
You know, to a degree. But it's absurd and silly and crazy.
Yeah.
And especially the 90s. I mean, you look at...
He embodied.
Right. You know, I mean, I have one of the Ghost Riders hanging on my wall of when Danny Ketch dies and his buddy takes over, and he's the super, like, no more 90s than you could ever get with the mohawk and the crazy bike and the whole thing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, so Michael Battolino.
I'm on board.
I think it's a good fit.
Yeah. Make it happen, DC. You've got our blessing.
Yeah, it'll be
Right?
fun.
Do they have Mini Mandy's blessing? She's very critical of DC.
They're on the uprise. I like Justice League and I like
I know
Wonder
you
Woman. This is a good progression. So, yes,
Aquaman in December, right?
I believe
It's
so.
the only DC offering this year?
I believe that's correct.
Well,
I
that
think-
and Teen Titans Go.
Yeah.
yeah,
But I mean, as far as their
The
their
DCU,
universe,
yeah.
but yeah.
DCEU.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, so Teen Titans Go is probably still going to be better, but
Yeah.
probably.
I don't like Teen
Yeah, it's
I
not
don't
hard.
like Teen
That's not hard to imagine. Yeah.
It'll be
Yeah.
the best
I'm
DC
excited.
movie.
I'm excited for Aquaman, but I think was it you Blogster that mentioned they kind of screwed themselves with the air bubble thing?
No, it was. I think
Oh, it was
Frankie-
me.
Frankie-
Yeah,
oh,
I was
you?
like, are you
Kevin,
kidding
yeah.
me with this shit?
I was like,
Yeah.
that's going to make things really complicated.
Yeah.
I started thinking about it. I'm like,
Chief,
man.
we need the cone of silence.
I was
Man,
like,
what do we really know?
I could see them just completely getting rid of that idea in the movie and,
Oh, the director
and
already
not
said.
mentioning it.
Yeah.
The director
And
already
I'd be
said
okay
he's
with
like,
that.
fuck the bubbles. I'm not doing the
Yeah.
bubbles.
Oh,
Yeah.
Screw continuity.
He already said it,
I don't care. Get rid of it. You know?
because it
But-
doesn't like that would be really like if you're going to try and talk during a fight, you're not going to be like stop.
The
Bubble.
thing that the way I heard it before I saw the movie, and I saw it much later than everybody else, it made it sound like there was like a little bubble appearing around their head, like a space helmet or something.
Yeah.
The fact that they opened up the entire
Entire
room,
room, yeah.
I was like, all right, that's fine. It's
Well,
not that bad.
every time I fart in the bathtub now, I think of that scene, and it's very disturbing.
I'm excited. I'm interested to see how it's going to play out because it made sense to have him doing like the funny stuff with the characters that were in that movie. Well, it'll be interesting to see how they do it with like actual Aquaman. I don't
Hey,
know.
man, I'm excited
Yeah.
they picked Black Manta. That's a great choice for the first villain.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool looking character. So
yeah.
I hope they make
oh,
him
yeah.
as cool looking.
And there's a
as-
lot more depth to him than people realize at,
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
first blush. So it's a really good character.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm not as familiar, but I mean, just what they did with that character in Young Justice.
Young Justice,
Yeah,
yeah, that's
so
right.
good.
It was
Yeah.
great.
Man, I can't wait for season 3 of that.
I know.
It's so good. I love that cartoon.
Yeah. We watched that whole thing so quickly, and
Yeah.
it was just like
And it's been,
Now what?
what 2-3 years?
a couple, yeah.
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 Yeah, so it's good. We got a lot of the nerds got our stuff.
Yeah.
Dude,
We're
got
taking
our
over
stuff.
this shit. I'm gonna ride this wave until it crashes. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'll still stay on it. Don't get me
Yep.
wrong, but hey, people come to us now and they're like, "Man, what's this? What's this?"
Yep.
Oh, come on, bring it in.
Yeah.
We got to talk about this.
Well, I know you. You go, do I look like I can surf? And then you turn around, put your mask on, and go, now I can surf.
Now I can surf. Yep, that's what I do.
I do like the whole, like, who doesn't have a movie yet? Like Kitty Pryde. There's a weird one
Right.
to give a solo
Right.
movie to. I'm waiting
Yeah.
for the Bishop movie would be great.
Yeah,
I mean,
That would be good.
Traveler,
Yeah.
he'd be
Yeah.
a great character.
yeah.
Who
I
plays
agree.
him?
I don't know. You know what the
Same
guy?
guy?
Who?
Same guy that played him in.
No.
See, there wasn't much
No.
to him.
There wasn't
he
enough
was
to
such
him
a
at all.
minor
Yeah.
character. I remember in the 90s when
I could see Billy D being a bishop.
Well,
Billy D. Williams.
the guy that they said like back in the 90s, and the only one that stuck was Patrick Stewart, but they like cast the whole X-Men movie, and they had Ice-T as Bishop. He would have been amazing.
Oh, Jesus.
He would
That'd
have
have
been
been
amazing.
great.
But I think he's a little too old now. That's the problem.
So is Billy D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's way
Ice-T
too
would be a
old,
better
yeah.
choice.
Yeah.
Ice-T would
He'd
be
be better, but I mean, he's what, like 50, something around there. So maybe
Yeah.
too old. Need somebody maybe around 30ish. So I don't know right now, but that would be a great character to.
I think so, too.
To do a solo. I mean, there's always still Gambit, Rogue, those kind. Those would be good, but smaller characters, I don't know.
Smaller characters is where it's at, too, because the nerds don't have that same, like, oh my god, that is not my
Yeah,
Batman.
how dare
That
you
is
put
not
this
my-
drivel
Right.
out?
Yeah. Whereas that's not Spider-Man.
That is not my Jubilee.
Right.
There's only one Jubilee.
Right. The one from the cartoon.
Not shooting enough fireworks out of her fingers. Yeah.
I haven't thought about that song in so long.
All that was on Netflix for a
I
while,
know.
too.
I watched
Yeah, it was.
every bit of it.
Yep,
Yeah.
sure did.
Now they have a whole He-Man collection, like the 80s He-Man.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
We watched the first
Yeah.
episode right after we watched
It's in
the
my
toys we grew up with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
I
in
think
my
that's why
list.
they have it now.
It is, yeah.
It has to be.
I think it has a lot to do with it.
Because there are Barbie movies on there now, too.
Oh, okay.
That
Oh,
weren't
thank
up
God.
there before.
Yeah.
Well, that's part of that, and it's Netflix's documentary series.
And as Jesse informed us all on Twitter, he has a My Little Pony movie on there, too.
Which I think will be in season 2 of that. If they do another season of the toys we grew up with. So I
Yeah.
just started thinking about, like, oh my gosh, yeah.
They could do
Forgot to add that to my list.
Thundercats.
Thundercats.
Could do...
My Little Pony, especially.
My Little
'cause that
Pony
was
would be
huge,
huge,
for
yeah.
girls.
Strawberry
And now
Shortcake.
Shortcake was a
grown-ups.
big one.
That's
Yeah.
another one.
Strawberry Shortcake.
Yeah.
Rainbow Bright.
Yeah, Cabbage Patch Kids.
Cabbage Patch Kids,
Care Bears.
especially. Care Bears.
Yeah, I think Cabbage Patch Kids were that first, like, crazy, I have to get this for my kid Christmas toy.
Yeah.
So that would be huge.
I had a Popple. Like, the cartoon and the legacy is not endured, but I will always remember that stupid stuffed toy.
Yeah.
That turned
You
into
just
a
turn it
ball.
inside out.
Yeah.
Yeah. My daughter has one now, it just kind of snaps closed. I don't think it's a Popple.
It was
it's
so
something
hard to get
similar.
the Popple to roll up. Like, I had to
Yeah.
get my parents to do it.
Yeah, my sister had one. It was a pain in the ass. But
I
there's
remember that one.
Speaking of Netflix,
there's a
I-
lot of stuff like that.
I sat and watched the end of the fucking world. Is that I think
Oh,
that's
so
what-
good.
So good.
I was very surprised.
Yeah.
I was like, I got through the first episode and I'm like, this is weird. What happens next?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here watching, I'm like, this is exactly like what a lot of kids go through.
Yeah.
But
And
I
you
was
could
like,
do the whole
oh,
thing
man.
in one sitting. So
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah, I finished it super
Yeah,
fast.
I was amazed that they were only 20-minute episodes.
Yeah.
Right?
And I was just like, huh. Because I meant to just watch one episode and then go to bed. I got halfway through this season. I'm like, oh my God, I got to go to bed.
I watched the entire thing because I was like, 20 minutes. I'm just going to keep going. And all of a
Yeah.
sudden it was over. And I was like, no.
I want more.
No. What? Next
Yeah.
episode. Damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really liked how that went because you're like, okay, eventually he's going to kill someone. But it's
But
not
then
what
the way
you
it does,
expected.
and
Yeah.
it wasn't his desired effect either.
No,
So
yeah.
It was really, really well done.
I was like, oh man, this is so good.
And the ending is a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And it's a graphic novel.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, I got to find this now because I think I could tear right through it.
Yeah, I was really amazed because I sat there and I'm like, well, obviously not everyone has killed someone, but I'm like, this is like the epitome of like, you chose to do something in your adolescence, thinking you knew how the world worked,
Right.
Yeah.
and then that's not how the world works.
Yeah.
For
And you're
both
like-
of them, right?
Yeah, for both.
For
of them.
both.
And you're like, fuck,
Yep.
oh god, and you're like thinking like, I have no way out of this, and then there are people who want to help you, but you're so lost and confused that you can't trust it. Man,
Yeah.
I was like, this is so good.
Yeah.
I was very, very surprised. I was
I
very
don't know.
surprised with it.
It was just like there was no fat in that. And I've said it
No,
before.
yeah.
Even the shoplifting scene, which could have been cut out, still developed the character.
It
It
did.
did. Absolutely
And
did.
it's useful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was unnecessary but useful.
Yeah.
So
It showed like, because I was thinking, I was like, why? Like up until it got to the end where he's like, "All right, you can go." Like, I was like, why is this in here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then as it happens, you're like, oh man, every person has their struggles and every person has their like ideas and they all have to mesh together in this world. And I was like, all right,
Yeah.
you're cool, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh,
Not you.
and she's off my tab.
They don't have my information. I'll just
Those past
leave.
4 years? Nope.
I'll call the cops myself. I don't give a
Did
shit.
you watch End of the Fucking World yet?
I did not.
Oh,
No,
man.
I just finished Altered Carbon.
Yeah,
I
that's
gotta
what
get
I
on
need to
that
get
one.
on.
I do too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of boobies, and there's some dong for you, too, there, Mandy.
Yeah. Not flaccid, though?
Absolutely flaccid.
I don't think it matters in this case. It's
It's... Oh. I'm gonna
ample
blush.
dong.
It's the whirlybird scene that.
Even I was like, wow, all right.
Congratulations. Yes.
So there's that.
Yeah.
So much
Right.
to get excited about.
I
Yeah.
know.
No, it's the story in Altered Carbon was hit or miss.
Yeah.
Okay.
As we've seen with a lot of these Netflix anthologies, there's parts that aren't necessary,
Yeah.
but I can almost guarantee you, and forgive me, I can't remember the lady's name who wrote the story, but I'm sure she probably insisted that this part of it got included. So there's your slow parts, then there's parts that are confusing, but as an overall series, I think it's 10 episodes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The world that this whole thing is based in is fantastic. The concept is absolutely mind-numbing. Like, if you sit down and think about... I don't want to give any spoilers away. Nobody else here has seen it. But the concept of what they've accomplished as a society is just...
Yeah.
It really gets the wheels turning, and you can get lost in the show very easily.
right.
I recommend it. It's getting a lot of shit. I don't know what's going on with the Netflix originals lately. Like Bright. Thought it was a good movie. Thought it was
I
fine.
liked Bright.
I haven't.
And it
I
got
haven't
shot
watched
on.
it
I
yet, yeah.
really
Most
enjoyed
people
Bright.
I know liked it.
It got shat on, and then the same thing with this. And then
Yeah.
they're
You know what
giving-
else got shit all over? The Cloverfield paradox.
Well, that was terrible.
I haven't,
See, I haven't
watched that
I
yet.
haven't seen the other movies, but
I
I'm
haven't
sure
either.
it doesn't
I've not
matter.
watched a single one.
I watched the first one and hated it, and
I
then everyone
haven't
was like,
seen
"Go see the second,
either
it's
of the
good."
first two.
And I'm like,
I know
don't
the
want
general
to.
premise, however.
Right, right.
You know
I
what?
watched this
People
one.
did hate the original movie, though.
It was
And
awful.
I will tell you, the last 4 minutes of the movie, I have never laughed so hard in my life at the sheer absurdity of what just happened on the screen.
Now I have to watch it.
Okay.
Yeah. Now I have to watch it.
It's in there in my queue with your show, and then also I need to watch Black Mirror. I've never watched
I
it.
haven't watched it yet either.
That's coming up soon on my queue, yeah.
Yeah,
It's good. I watched Metalhead, the episode. Holy shit, man.
that's
it's
what I
crazy.
hear. There's so many people who are like this episode and this episode, and like everyone
that's the
has a
thing.
different episode. That
I
they
skip
pick.
around
it's
it.
weird.
I go, whichever one sounds interesting.
Sure.
Because the first season you just watch it was 3 episodes or 4, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I think 3. And I completely missed season 2. I didn't know what happened. And then 3 came up, and the first one had Bryce Dallas Howard in it, and it was really good. And I just kind of, from there, just started bouncing around. So I've seen.
I didn't realize she was in one of
couple.
those seasons.
Yeah, she's in the first one. It's all about the whole culture of Facebook and Twitter likes and shit like that. And
So that's the
and
one
it's
I
your
really.
existence.
That's the
It's
one
really
I
good.
really want to watch.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. That's the one redhead I have a crush on, Bryce Dallas Howard.
I like
She's-
Jessica Chastain, too.
great. Yeah, but
And-
she's a great actress.
And Karen Gillian.
Oh yeah, like all right, raising the stakes there. Used to be Nikki Cox way back.
Yeah.
She looks kind of weird now.
Yeah, that is...
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, Jay
forgot-
Moore
I
will fuck you
forgot
up,
about
I
her.
guess. You marry Jay Moore, and
Well,
I
then
don't
you
know.
deserve what you get if you marry
I
Jay
think he
Moore.
sucks the life out of you.
Yeah.
He's an odd person. But yeah.
Indubitably.
You can definitely bounce around Black Mirror. Just
Okay.
pick and choose. None of them. It doesn't.
No, they don't. They're not. It's
Yeah,
not a
they're
cohesive
individual
show, yeah.
episodes. So yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
So
Good to know.
yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. I don't know. I've been watching a lot of stuff. Right.
I mentioned it, I think, 2 episodes ago, maybe? Or possibly even 3. Documentary on Netflix. called Icarus. Now, I finally actually sat down and watched the whole thing.
Is it good?
It's unbelievable. This guy starts out to make a documentary, and he's a former Tour de France rider. He wasn't very good.
Yeah.
But after all the Lance Armstrong shit broke, he says, okay, I'm going to do the same doping program that Lance Armstrong did,
Right.
try to test positive, or try to test negative for performance-enhancing drugs, and see how much it improves my bike riding. This is where the documentary starts.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets in touch with this professor that studies PEDs and shit at UCLA, who puts him in touch with some dude in Moscow.
Yeah.
And they're going back and forth, and like 15, maybe 20 minutes into it, the Sochi scandal breaks while he's filming.
Yeah.
And he has to get this Russian doctor out of the country and brings
Wow.
him here and puts him on a house, puts him up in an apartment and shit. It's unbelievable. I cannot recommend something strongly enough.
And that doctor, that guy did a whole episode with Joe Rogan, a whole interview.
Yeah, he did.
And that doctor is in protective custody right now. Because,
At the end of the documentaries,
Yeah.
you know, most documentaries, they show you, like, in white text on a black screen what's up with everybody that was in it.
Yeah.
And they're like, Dr. Grigory, whatever the hell his last name was, is still in protective custody. U.S. Department of Justice has several credible threats against his life and believe the Russians are actively monitoring him. It's crazy. Go watch Icarus.
Yeah, and
I want
then
to see that
listen
and
to
the
that
I,
Rogan
Tonya. Those
episode,
are the
too.
two that I'm like, man, I need to watch this.
Go watch it.
Yeah.
Like, find an hour and a half. I think hour and a half, 2 hours maybe. Go find the time and watch it.
Yeah.
Well, I, Tonya, I did go see. And
Oh, yeah.
it's, I got to say, because I went and I'm like, all right, Shape of Water, I, Tonya, they start at the same time. I want to see, I want funny right now. So I thought that would be funny. And it is sort of, but it's sad, very sad, and
That's-
like
so
depressing
that's what I'm
in a lot of
thinking.
things.
Yeah.
Because Allison Janney plays her mom.
Which one was sad? The fish or the
I,
skating?
Tonya.
Okay.
I haven't seen Shape of Water yet. It was between the two, and I decided I went with I, Tonya. But because I remember that whole thing going down.
Sure.
But
That was big news, man.
It was
yeah,
huge.
It was like my senior year of
I
high
still
school.
remember it, yeah.
And it was Allison Janney plays her mom. You hate this woman start to finish. She's a monster. And it's all based on real interviews. So, you know, they, like I said before, they show the thing at the end. But they're, I mean, honestly, beating the shit. Her and Galooly are beating the shit out of each other through the whole movie. She says this, he says this, but then both kind of admit to abusing each other. It's really just fucking dark in a lot of ways. So you got, you know, Harley Quinn and Winter Soldier beating the fuck out of each other.
Yeah.
So you have that.
That's awesome.
But and they were
Not
both
really, but-
they were both good in their roles. They were entertaining, and the movie was interesting. The bodyguard guy, Galooly's friend, oh my god, that guy's so fucked up, and just thought he was like this international spy and shit. And they even show this one interview that he did, and I'm like, this has to be bullshit. And then they show the real
one.
thing, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my god, I don't remember that. But yeah,
That's the thing, like, I remember really random stuff, because I was really young. Like,
Yeah.
I was like 4 or something.
Yeah, you're the
remind us.
youngest out of the group.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I remember it because I was really excited for the ice skating, and like all that shit went down. And my mom was like, "She might not get to skate," and I'm like, And I remember like the interviews because my parents were watching the news, and I would come in and see it, and like her bodyguard was crazy.
Yeah.
I remember thinking like if I saw him somewhere, I would be fucking terrified.
Yeah.
Terrified,
A lot of fucked up shit happened in the 90s.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
No joke.
Nancy Kerrigan is barely in the movie.
Yeah,
it's-
that's what I heard.
Which is fine. It's not really about
Well, because
her,
it's
Yeah.
it's the Tonya Harding story.
Yeah.
But yeah, them dragging her out at the Golden Globes and all that shit. I'm like, she's a villain. She's not a good
Right?
person.
Right.
I don't get this whole Hollywood thing. We're gonna bring out Spicer. We're gonna bring out like, why? They're assholes. You don't need these people around.
So here's the question that I see people asking. Based on the movie, was Tonya a part of it?
Based on the
Based
I, Tonya?
on based on I, Tonya, was Tonya
Based
involved?
on the movie, neither Harding or Galooly were a part of it.
Okay.
It was all his
Okay.
idiot
Interesting.
friend
Yeah.
Like, their whole thing was to, because in the story, Tonya Harding got a death threat
Yeah.
letter, and they were freaking out, and they thought it's Kerrigan doing this. So,
Well, because that was common during that time. They
Right.
would send death threats to each other.
so their big idea was to send Nancy Kerrigan a death threat,
Yeah.
and send several of them, like send these letters, but they had to do it from different places. So he talks to his buddy Sean, the bodyguard guy, and he's like, "Can you set this up?" And he's like, yeah, I got these two guys, they can mail these letters, but instead he advances it to clubbing her knee. And Sean was the guy that sent Tonya the death threat in the first place to amp things up, like to set up this whole. So the way they make it seem is neither one of them had anything to do with it, but they covered it up, and then that's where they become really complicit in the whole thing. So yeah.
Okay, because that's where a lot of like my friends who have seen it have said it
Yeah.
goes. Like you're on one side or the other. You either think that she was a part of it and knew, or she had no idea and she was just thrown into this, and she already had this crazy family and crazy surroundings,
Yeah.
and was just enthralled in it and just kind of went psycho.
Seeing how crazy
During
the
it.
bodyguard is,
Yeah.
you can believe that. Yeah, maybe
And
it was all him.
That's who she spent the most of her time with.
Yeah.
Was her bodyguard, from what people were saying.
Well, yeah, it was
He
Galuli's
was
best
always
friend.
there. Yeah. So that's the thing, because like I've had people who are like adamant while I was growing up that Tonya Harding was a part of it and that she knew. And
Well, that was. It wasn't necessarily proven, but that was
Yeah.
the prevailing theory.
that was, yeah, like she was like, okay, Tonya knew she was a part of it. She didn't think she could beat her.
She looked guilty as sin real time.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, there's probably a good amount of Mandela effect going on
Probably, yeah.
because enough time has passed, but I
don't
still
know.
remember that, and most of us that witnessed it real time
Yeah.
probably remember Tonya Harding broke Nancy Kerrigan's kneecap.
Yeah.
That was
That's all
that
we
was
think
like the
about.
headline.
All you heard was Tonya Harding, Jeff Galooly.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all you heard.
Well, even
that-
Galooly,
and-
to a lot of the younger folks, Galooly doesn't exist.
No, exactly. Yeah.
It was
for most
Harding
people.
versus
But I mean, that's
Kerrigan.
like the name that I remember
And
hearing.
even the bodyguard didn't do it. It was two other guys that, yeah.
Yeah.
So it all gets convoluted and crazy, but
I mean, I didn't spend the money to go see it in the theater, but the second it hits like HBO or something, I'm
Yeah.
all over that.
Well,
I'm very interested to see
I
it.
need to use my movie pass because I haven't yet this
Me
month.
too.
So
Speaking
that's-
of Movie Pass, what a deal, huh?
Right?
yeah.
We don't get anything for it, but that's cool. So just go get it. Just
Should I
use the app,
pull
go
down
get
the
it.
No, but we're trying to
get them back, remember?
I sent them an email.
And no response? Oh, all right. I'll pull down the
Well,
banners.
fuck
Yeah, pull
Movie
down.
Pass then.
Still a good deal, but whatever.
Still a great deal, but yeah, we can pull down the banner.
You know what? Screw it.
Put
We're
up,
going to start
put up a
promoting
Bunny
random
17.
other shit. Nature Box.
Yeah, put up that Bunny 17 because I'm pretty sure. we
Yeah.
can
Put it
come
up
with a-
there.
Well, I'll tell you. I mean, a
What is
little
it, Max?
birdie told me.
Mask. Yeah.
A little birdie told me that Blasto number 2 is in progress.
It's
Right?
in progress.
It is.
I'm I went back to writing goals and making sure the artist works on that.
Does the
that
setting
artist
goals
gets on
thing work? Because
It does.
all right, I need to work on that.
Like writing them down and really sticking to them.
Wow, that was the most disappointed I've ever heard out of your mouth.
No, it
It
does.
does. It really does.
I
The end of 2017 worked out really well for me.
Yeah.
Like, actually, most of 2017. Like, I started really, like, you know what? Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Go out and get what you want. And wrote down things, and I'm like,
Sometimes
okay,
it just
where am I
takes
at?
that new mindset to
It
actually
was.
kick in.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a total new mindset, and I'm like, I got to do this. And I got out of it for a little bit, and then Blasto fell behind, and so now,
Bortles.
Okay. Cool. Thanks.
so yeah,
Thank you.
it works, and
that's my favorite when a keg
Yeah.
blows and you get like almost a full glass.
I
And
know, I
like,
got the
it's
bottom
free,
of the
it
barrel
blew.
of Four Peaks Cherry Porter.
I'll
Yeah.
take it.
Bronson of the Week.
No, see what happened was Mandy snuck
Good.
away and just told Jason to put everything on my tab, so that's why he said it was free.
Just throw it all
Free
on there.
for me.
Yeah.
No, I agree though. Like that's going to be my big step after I move because I've decided nothing's going to happen before I finally.
Yeah, I
get
can't
moved.
believe you decided to finally go back to Indianapolis.
I know, right? I
You
I
can't-
love
you can't-
Indianapolis.
I will
I'll
say
never
this.
go back.
You can't let that stop you from starting a goal.
Yeah.
Well, it's
'cause
I
every
have
time-
goals, but they're all so work oriented
Yeah,
that
and that's okay.
I
But
can't-
start there. But I
Yeah.
mean, like achieve those so you can hit those.
Yeah, I've
Like,
had
I know- I know
priorities.
Mr.
based
sound
on my
like Tony
timeline.
Robbins.
Yeah, based on my.
That's the worst thing that anybody can say.
It's just based on my timelines for what it takes to finish it. It's going to be like a week
Yeah.
and a half before I move, and so I'm like, man,
Oh yeah, you are right around the corner from moving.
yeah, I'm
so that's
moving in
okay.
like
Close.
6
Yeah.
weeks maybe.
But
So
usually, though, setting a finish date is fine. Setting
Yeah.
a start date
Is
means
a-
you're never going to start.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you will never start
Yeah.
if you don't set a start date. You can
Yeah.
set a finish date. That's great.
Yeah.
That's,
No, yeah.
that's actually preferred. Like, I need it for by this date. So.
Yeah,
My finish date
I did that in
is-
college and ended up writing essays an hour before they were turned in.
oh,
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Gotta finish this.
Yeah, exactly.
No, yeah,
So-
like because I needed to get my work stuff done first, and so there, my finish
make that
goal.
your goal.
Yeah,
Make
my
that your
finish
goal
goal
first.
for those
Yeah.
is I set the date for the day before I move because I'm taking the days I move off because for some reason we're moving on a fucking Tuesday,
Yeah.
whatever. But
On a
realistically,
Tuesday.
if I really go at it, I can be done about a week before that. But then that gives me like a week to like reset and stop working 60-hour work weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I can have a life to do stuff, so that would be great.
Speaking of life to do stuff, come see us in Safford, Arizona.
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
What day? That's in March.
March
right?
24th.
March
Yeah.
24th. We're just doing the one day.
Yeah. Friday's only
it's
a 2-hour preview
Yeah,
night.
2 hour.
It's not
preview day.
worthwhile
It's just,
for us.
Yeah, to get a hotel room and all
Yeah.
that.
No, it's
Yeah,
not
we're
worth
just
it.
going to leave early in the morning, set up, go, and then head home.
Yep.
Nice.
It'll be good. We
So-
had Safford, we had El Paso in April, and then in September, I don't know why, I pulled the trigger on Saskatoon. So
What weekend is that for Saskatoon? Is that Labor Day
September, 15th and 16th.
To be fair, that officially gives you the international label.
It
weekend?
does.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's what I texted
Funny
to,
17 Media
I
International.
kind of want to
I
do
just
this
sent that
just
to
to
him last
justify
night.
me getting a passport.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
I'm still persona non grata in Canada, but
if I go by myself, I can break even. I believe.
Right.
I have
Anybody else
the
goes,
sense
and
of
it's like that's on you,
Then,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Then you're
just
losing
want a
money.
vacation.
Guarantee you're losing money.
Yeah.
But it'll be fun. But I'm gonna start looking up Saskatoon breweries.
It's
Absolutely.
just going
Fun
to
to say that I'm
Let me
going
get
to
this straight.
Saskatoon.
It's
Yeah.
going to justify a trip for me. It won't be anything like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean that's fine. It's I think it'll be fun though. And I talked to some podcasters from Saskatoon, and they said it's a huge deal. People come from all over the province for that. So
That's so cool.
yeah.
That's what I've heard about things in like those areas of Canada. Like things just
That's what we're hoping we're going to get out of Safford.
no, it's
A
no
lot
worries,
of
eh?
small town stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they draw people because shit doesn't happen there, so they
Yeah.
go to the stuff that
Right.
does happen.
No, it's
it's
absolutely
like
true.
it's like
Yeah.
the Benson shows that I
Yeah,
would work for
yeah.
wrestling.
Yeah.
Those
Those
places
are
were
probably
packed.
those are probably the largest shows I've done.
There you go.
One of them hit 1,200 people.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's awesome.
and
for
it's
a-
because there's nothing
indie
to
show.
do around that area.
Yeah. Way better than when we went to Prescott.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That's
Ugh.
5 or 6 people.
Yeah.
All the
Oh,
same
wow.
people that were. No,
Really?
It wasn't that
It was
small.
like
it was,
like 200 or 300, but
but it was in an arena. That
yeah,
Mhm.
Tim's Toyota Center, which holds what 5,000-6,000 people at least.
I think it's about
More than
8.
that.
I think
Eight
it's
or-
about
8 or 10,
8,000.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe 8 or
they
10.
would
It
do
was big.
hockey games.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
No business doing
Yeah.
that show there. 'Cause I thought,
Yeah.
oh man, they're going to come from all over.
Kelowna
And I-
Rockets, baby.
I didn't understand it. I didn't understand it. But hey, they paid me. They paid for my hotel room.
Yeah.
The exchange rate sucked, but it was still all right.
I mean, I ended up way better in Benson,
Yeah.
but
Well, I'll be. I'll have to get there, get some loonies and toonies to make change, and
Yeah.
adjust my prices for Canada. So, come back with a lot of plastic money,
right.
but it's all right.
That's different
Go
sizes.
buy an enchilada with a toonie.
Yeah.
No, use the toonies for the
Canadian.
condom vending machines in the bathroom. That's where, like, they literally have a picture of the fucking toonie on those things. It's
Oh, yeah.
ridiculous.
The last thing I want to do is knock up a Canadian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good luck.
I
Yeah.
learned my lesson. Learned my lesson.
Yeah.
Anyway. But yeah, I think it'll be fun.
Kevin Moyers, international man of mystery.
2 countries.
Right.
But
Next
yeah,
door to each
I've only
other.
been to Ontario, so it'll
Yeah.
expand.
Oh yeah,
my
you gotta see the
Canadian
rest
travel.
of Canada. It's not.
Yeah.
It's all very different.
Well,
each
I'll
part
be
you
in
go.
Vancouver in a few weeks.
Vancouver's
so,
amazing.
Yeah, that I'm
I've never
excited
been to
about. And
Vancouver.
We're gonna find Star
Never
Labs.
been outside the country.
You can find the address.
You ever been
Yeah.
to Mexico?
Yeah.
Before I
Wow.
ever spent any time in Vancouver, that shit didn't exist.
Yeah.
Then I went to Vancouver, and it was great still. And now that stuff's there, fuck
Mhm.
yeah.
That's our big thing. Find all those locations.
Yeah, Vancouver was a lot
Found
of
where
fun.
Jitters is. So that's cool.
That's awesome.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
say they're exactly friendly to Americans, but they're not anti-American either.
No,
Yeah.
but they're American in the way that they burned down their city.
I'll loan you a Seahawks
when
jersey,
they
and you'll
lost
be
the
okay.
Stanley Cup.
Honestly, they love the Seahawks up
Yeah.
there.
But they burned down the city when the Canucks lost.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like
That's better than Philadelphia, where they burned down the city because they won.
They ate horse
they ate
shit.
horse shit.
And
That
they
was
ate,
the best.
They ate
it was so
horse shit.
gross. It was so gross.
Yeah.
I just like.
You know what, Philly? I was happy you
Oh.
beat the Patriots, but go fuck yourself.
Come on,
What
man.
the hell?
Be ashamed
It's
of
It's
yourself.
Always
I-
Sunny is a documentary. I
Yeah.
didn't know this.
Yeah.
Ugh.
You know, I should have known. Like during the commercials, you had one with Danny DeVito and one with Glenn Howerton
Yeah.
for that AP Bio show, which I hear is
Yeah.
great. But I haven't seen that yet.
I thought.
Yeah,
I thought that
them
Peter.
flying to the game and
I thought that Peter Dinklage had won the Super Bowl commercials until
Morgan
Odell and Eli
oh yeah.
did Dirty Dancing.
yeah,
Me
that
and
was
some
great.
friends have had some serious arguments about this because I still think Peter and Morgan
No,
is the best.
nope.
No,
Is
There's
the
so many
best.
good- there's so many good lip syncing right now.
yeah.
Like New Day and Triple
But
H
still.
was way better than those two.
Oh God, yeah, that
Yeah,
was
it was pretty
great.
good.
That was way funnier
was pretty good.
than those two. I mean, it was good, and I like how they did it. But man, Eli and Odell, man,
Yeah.
nailed it.
I don't know.
'Cause I think Jimmy Fallon gets better lip syncing on his show.
Maybe I don't get to see it enough.
So
but-
here's how you can
But the
judge it,
Triple
Mandy.
H thing
Yeah, that
with
Triple H
Stephanie
one, if they'd have made
was
that a
hilarious.
commercial,
Like
Yeah.
that,
You
I
would-
blew up people's Twitter feeds because
At
I
the
was
Super Bowl,
just retweet.
Eli was actually there in some capacity. I forget why, and he was introduced to the crowd,
Yeah.
and they booed the living bejesus out of him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was,
Then they showed that
no,
commercial
Peyton,
on the
wasn't it?
jumbotron.
Yeah.
yeah,
And
was
the
on
crowd
Peyton-
cheered the hell out of him.
I
So that's
know.
how you know that's some quality shit right there.
I
Yeah, you
enjoyed
didn't have
it.
to like either
Don't get me
player.
wrong.
Yeah.
Those were my two favorite commercials out of the entire game. But
that whole series of commercials with him, you're like, what are they? Are they?
Yeah.
Is this like a
Yeah, yeah.
retirement announcement? What the fuck is happening here?
No,
And then it just went nuts. And that
nobody
was
puts
great.
OBJ in the corner.
Yeah.
What was the commercial for?
NFL Players Association.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
I
so.
didn't know what the commercial was for.
I
I
think
just thought it was
it
great.
was something NFL affiliated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why it
I mean,
showed
was
in the
Peter
stadium.
Dinklage one, you know, it was for Doritos.
It was
Doritos
for
and
Doritos, and then
Mountain
Morgan
Dew.
Freeman was for
Yeah.
Mountain Dew.
Like,
Yeah,
you
like
recognize
come
what it
on,
was
man.
for, but I'm
Yeah.
like, huh, I don't know what they're advertising, but I love it.
Yeah.
So,
No,
okay,
it was,
Players Association, I can get
Mwah.
behind that.
It was good
Yeah.
stuff.
All right, we're going to have to get to our next episode, so thanks for listening to our two-parter, and have a wonderful time at Black Panther.
Sorry if the first half sucked.
There was a man with a gun in his hand as smoke just filled his nose, wearing a smile from the death of a child while blood splattered his clothes. One single tear from the man standing near is just what had to be done. Not just a game, but escape from the pain. He killed his only son. And now let go from here and tell his mother feel. Now all he has is his memories of his sickened child, always begging please, just do it now, take care of me, I'm all you have, now set me free. Now mommy dear, set down your drink, and don't won't you lay your hands on me? You've never been that good to me. Thank God I had my daddy. And why didn't you want him? Then try to save him. New baby boy with ability to be anything that he wants to be, but by the age of his early teens, one small lump altered everything. What was this about master plans? As he lay his head onto his hands, it was said, what's done is done. Shattered family with 3 minus 1.
Subscribe and download back episodes of Maskerpiece Theater at abnormalentertainment.com/Maskerpiece Theater. Search Maskerpiece Theater on Facebook. Email maskedblogster at maskedblogster@gmail.com. And for more podcasts, books, comics, blogs, and videos, head to abnormalentertainment.com.
You've been listening to the Abnormal Entertainment Network.